This achievement is the third and final achievement that we can get from the new story and weekly boss in version 3.3, and I think it's probably the hardest one to get out of the three. That said, you can pay to win it, which will have all of you Casterus global passive people up in a tizzy, but yes, if you own Casterus, then this achievement becomes much easier. The achievement is obtained in the final phase of the new weekly boss fight, and the goal here is to let the boss build up its Black Tide sync rate to 100% before unleashing its ultimate attack without letting any of your units die. This meter can be seen in the top right corner of the fight. Every time the boss takes its turn, this meter goes up a little bit, and the boss will unleash an ultimate attack, Unmaking Ashes, Godsfall on the following turn. So you're going to have to sit through around 4 of these attacks for the boss to reach that 100% charge. And only after tanking that 100% charge Godsfall attack will you get the achievement, if your party is still alive. The boss will also have 2 heads on either side of him, and attacking and killing these will cause the Black Tide sync rate meter to drop down, and we don't want that. So it goes without saying that we don't want to be dealing any AoE damage in this fight at all. What makes this fight harder is that while this meter is being filled, we're going to be repeatedly gaining stacks of debuff, which reduces our max health, and the only way to remove this debuff is to use the encounter special, which summons Hyacinth to pop up in a little cinematic and has to clear some of the debuffs, but this doesn't clear all of it. The problem here is that in order to charge this up, we need to deal damage to the boss, but that's also counterintuitive to us getting the achievement because we don't want to kill the boss before he reaches 100%. So it becomes a little bit of a balancing game to minimize our debuff stacks to make sure that we don't die, but then also making sure that the boss doesn't die or lose his charge. So going back to what I said about pay to win, if you own Casterus, dying and then getting revived by her global passive doesn't actually count as dying. So what this means is that once the boss reaches 100% and he unleashes his attack, even if all 4 of your characters die, the achievement will still pop up. But if you're not so lucky to own Casterus, then here's what I did to get the achievement. So I went and did the weekly encounter, but this time I picked a level 3 difficulty version of the boss, which reduces the debuff value and also the total damage dealt through his ultimate significantly. I brought with me not only the tankiest characters that I own, but also ones that deal low single target damage, and preferably characters that have skills that don't do damage to the boss. Once we get into phase 2, the focus is simply to spam our skills if possible, or using basic attacks on the boss if we're forced to. We don't ever want to hit the 2 adds on the side while we wait for the boss to build up its charge. I did bring along with me Fushuan, but you'll notice here that as the Black Tide sync rate goes up, I opted not to use her field as there's a really high chance that she'll die from tanking the AoE damage, so she's really just there because of her high health pool. Depending on your damage output, it's okay to throw some basic attacks to build up your own meter to clear your debuffs, but just be careful not to break or kill the boss. Japad is a really good pick in this encounter since he can throw out his ultimate just before the boss uses its attack. Aventurine on the other hand isn't a great pick as I found that his follow-up attack kept on killing the 2 adds on the side, which is why I don't bring him here. The difficulty that you end up picking will depend on the characters that you own. If you're still unable to tank the level 3 ultimate, then you can drop it down further, and if you find that you're killing the boss too fast at these lower difficulties, then you can try to remove some light cones and gear to reduce your damage while still maintaining your health pool.
In the name of Landau, a will forged in ice never falters!
Nature is great. Believe it when reciprocity. Excellent.
This end.
I see through you.
You have my gratitude.
Rainbow. A quick divination. Together as one.
Hope you're prepared.